What? What?
Burning down the what?
Burning down the what? The what?
Burning down the what?
Oh, yeah. What is up, everybody?
Burning down the what?
Welcome to Black Market Live, everybody.
Hell yeah.
We're here. I'm Wise Owl, Brandon Nisnik. That's Black Market. Nate Bridges.
What's up?
Yeah, this is our show where we make music. We talk about music. Coming to you live from our studios. I'm here in Los Angeles. Nate is in his studio in Nashville, Tennessee. And yeah, what are we doing today, Nate? What do we got on the docket?
That's a great question, Brandon. I'm not even going to put up any kind of facade today. I'm fucking tired. I don't know what we're going to do today.
Wow.
We're going to...
No facade for Nate. Normally you're Mr. Facade.
Normally I'm Mr. Wow, howdy doody. Certainly I am tired today. Me and Brandon have had a really long week doing a lot of crazy fucking work and reworking shit we shouldn't have had to do, but we did because of stupid shit. But today we've got...
no explanation for what that means.
We'll talk about it. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
So,
we'll tell you a nice studio war story today.
Oh my God. Yeah. Brutal. Trench warfare in the studio this week.
Yeah.
So yeah, today we are going to talk about we'll talk about some studio horror stories. That could be interesting.
That could be fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Sure.
We've got some music from some amazing artists on deck, including friend of the show, Gustaf, Rosander. We're going to play some Mega Duppy today. He has done some other kinds of music. He's not just a dub artist. He's done other styles. And he has sent us a couple, and a few were labeled as they were with teeth, like kind of sound-alike songs that he produced.
Really?
Yeah. And I checked one of them out a little bit, and it's fucking like, he nailed it.
Nice.
It's really impressive. These are like unfinished mixes he's sent in. So they were kind of works in progress, and it's old stuff he's done a long time ago. He thought we'd get a kick out of just checking it out. And guy's a producer. He's good. He knows what he's doing. It's really cool. And certainly, knows his way around multiple styles, which is really, really cool to see. So I'm really looking forward to that. And we've got another one on deck by a song called Fresno by Alfred Jones. So we will get to both of those later on in the show, do some music critique. And also, if we have time, today might be kind of a short show. We're going to do some more backing track recording with Mr. Wise Owl over here, if we can get to it in time. Do you know what? If we do that today, do you know what songs you might want to do?
Yeah, I was just looking at a list of songs. So we're going to be recording the backing tracks for my live show.
Right.
They're like instead of a band, I have a live dub situation.
Nice.
So we pre-record all these backing tracks. I was thinking we could do. I don't know. I was kicking around. We could do the real rock rhythm.
Cool. Nice. That would be cool.
Yeah, that's the Armageddon time.
Nice.
Backing track.
Classic.
It's like the most
familiar,
classic.
Yeah. If anyone's not familiar with that one, that's one to have in your Rolodex, certainly.
It's the.
Yeah. So good. Yeah.
Everybody knows that one.
Yeah.
We
thousand versions of that one. Deservedly
Yes.
so. It's fucking classic.
We could do. I do a couple Viceroys songs by the Viceroys.
I think we
All of
should.
you reggae heads out there, if you're familiar with the Viceroys.
I think you should do Armageddon Time. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
you think
That's
so?
just classic, easy. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
Okay. So, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah.
we'll do that. We'll do that later on in the show.
Yeah, definitely.
Recording some music together. That's for anyone who's new to the show. That's kind of a big part of this show is we're here in our studios. So, and that's the origin of this. Me and
Yes.
you were working on music and recording music together for our project Black Market Dub
Yes.
remotely during the pandemic anyway. So we started streaming the process.
Yeah. Yeah. So I should probably give people a Radiohead update as well while we're
Yes.
here. So basically, here's going to be kind of my new thing from now on. I need deadlines in order to make Black Market work. If I don't have deadlines, Black Market flounders, and it just kind of, bleh, doesn't get done. Nothing happens with it. It just kind of goes away. Certainly for longer than I would like it to when I give myself deadlines. Back in the original days, in the old days of the project when I was doing this by myself, I gave myself 30 days. No matter what the state of the music after 30 days, it was out. I would click publish on Bandcamp.
Right.
So it pushed me to work very quickly and to get my, to get my ability to squeeze quality into something in a short amount of time. I honed that skill really well back then. And lately, for a million reasons, we haven't kept any kind of schedule like that, which is fine.
No, we haven't.
And I don't really want to necessarily start up a new schedule like that. But what I want to do is I've been kicking this idea around in my head for a few weeks. And I think what I want to do is no matter what, no matter if we have an album in the works or not or whatever, every single day or every single week before the show, so every like Wednesday, I'm just going to make a new remix of something, whether it's, if we're done tracking, Radiohead, for example, I'll start tracking a Talking Heads or a Clash or fucking whatever. So like every week we'll have a new remix to work on ideally. So I had this thought and I was like, cool. So I have to get a remix ready for today. And I worked on it the other day. And the one I wanted us to do today was the song Nude by Radiohead. And a really glaring problem presented itself for doing that song right away, which is something I should have thought of a long time ago. Reggae does this funny thing where it only wants to be in the time signature of 4 beats over 4.
Yes.
That's basically like a hard and fast rule for reggae. You can try and fuck around, but it's not gonna sound like reggae.
4/4.
And this Nude
Only.
song by Radiohead is in 6/8, which is totally different. It's like a feel based on 4 versus a feel based on 3, right? It's just they're totally different, incompatible basically. So I got pretty far into like beat mapping this Nude remix and realizing while I'm doing it that it's in 6/8 and there's almost no way it's gonna be reggae, and was trying to I researched how have other people approached doing 6/8 reggae, and I came up with like a skank pattern that I thought would be kind of cool to do in 6/8, but it still was very odd sounding, and I don't think it would have made for anything approaching the original as a remix. So what I decided I want to do instead is try to force this 6/8 song into a 4/4 time signature. So ideally, I would love to have that ready to show you guys next week, and I think I will. But the process of like going through doing that is not something I can do on the stream. That's something it'll be so. I don't even know if it'll work, honestly. So I'd rather have a day to focus on it and see if I can make it even work, and then present it here and see how we can approach it. But it's really exciting because it like this song Nude, it's like it's kind of like this 6/8, like very soft, like waltz almost. And it swings and it's very like breezy and flowy, and I'm experimenting with like putting a steppers beat under it.
That's exactly what I was thinking, man. I was just
Yeah.
sitting here thinking about what it could be like.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, like so if it's a steppers beat, but instead of
Yep.
four stomps,
You could do it with 6.
1, 2, 3, ka, dun, dun, 1, 2, 3, ka, dun, dun.
Yeah.
With the cross stick right there.
So I could do that. That would be a way to do it where I maintain the 6/8-ness of the song, which would be really cool.
Yes.
I'm exploring another way of doing it where leaving it in 4/4, but basically cramming the vocals into
Yeah.
a place where it would make sense in 4/4.
Yeah.
That's
That's the other avenue.
kind of what I'm thinking, because I've tried chopping up like Horseman drums and making them different time signatures, and I've never really gotten it to work outside of like maybe a single bar like in a song. Like that is no problem, but to make it be like a continuous groove, I've never been able to chop that stuff up like that. Another thing we could do is just do a 6/8 beat, just build it ourselves as like using sampled drums and just use like a drum sequencer or a drum sampler and do it ourselves. That's another option. So it really depends. I want to try this 4/4 idea first, and then obviously if that doesn't work, if that crashes and burns, which it like so easily could and might, but I want to try that, and then if that doesn't work, we'll do one more kind of pass on it in 6/8 and see if that would make any sense to do a reggae song in 6/8, which would be bizarre as well.
Because then you need the skank pattern.
Yeah.
So if it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
I had it where I feel like there was at least one more skank in every bar. Like it was like 2 or something.
Oh, it's like a faster,
Yeah,
like a 6/8 ska over a steppers beat.
Oh, that could be kind of cool actually, but it wasn't like that either. It was just weird, like syncopated. It was very strange. Like the skanks weren't always on like the upbeats. The skank, some of this, like it would be like one of the skanks would be on the like a downbeat.
So it's like rotating around.
Yeah, it was very odd.
Nice.
So that could work too, but yeah, 2 very different kind of directions something like that could take, which is very interesting. But yeah, next week I'll have one of those ways worked out. We'll see how it goes.
That's exciting. Cool.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think about that? I like the idea of just like, Black Market always needs new material. So it's like, I feel like I just need to commit to like one day a week, just get the bones of a remix done, because it only takes an afternoon to like really like sketch out a remix if I have all my shit together,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and then it works nicely with this stream, which is every Thursday.
Right.
Then, yeah, we always have remixes to play on.
Yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good idea. I get what you mean about needing structure, deadlines like that. Because I remember me and you were roommates when you lived by that 30-day rule, and you took it very seriously. You're like, it was like an actual rule.
Yeah.
You didn't. I remember you often being kind of worried that you weren't going to make it, that you wouldn't have something finished by the 30-day mark, and you really took it seriously, almost as if it was like somebody else, like an employer who had given you that deadline, not yourself,
Yeah.
And but every time I think it resulted in the kind of a product that makes a lot of the records that we love. be the way that they are, which is that they were made on a schedule and on a budget and on they had limitations, you know.
Yeah.
And so like the end result is something organic that happened inside of limitations, and the people who made it maybe didn't feel like they were done working on it, but it was what it was, and it got released, and it has organic qualities to it, and we love it, you know. And I think that a lot of your black market music from that era feels that way. It feels like real music, you know.
Yeah. I think it's also just like, man, any young producers out there, just try that at least once, you know, with one of your productions, even if it's only one song or if it's an EP or whatever. It doesn't even have to be 30 days. It could be 60 days. It could be 7 days. It doesn't matter. But treat it like it's like a game, you know, like give yourself, say, the rules of the game is I have to click publish on Bandcamp at the end of this time period. And I will, and I have to, and you have to hold yourself to it. Otherwise, what the fuck are you even doing, right? There's no point in even doing it, right? The stakes have to be there. You have to go through with it. I'd even go so far as, like, if you don't think you could do that, hand the reins of your Bandcamp over to someone you trust. Send them temp mixes. and you tell them at the end of this time period, you know, whatever mix I've sent you up, you know, at the end of this period, whatever the most recent one is, click publish, and it's on me to get you the final master, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when it comes to producing music, like the best solution for this song is the next song. You know? Like the way to the best thing that you can do for the song that you are currently working on is to get started with the next one.
Totally.
Like, finish it, release it.
Yeah.
Move
exactly.
on.
Yeah.
Everything is in service of the 110th thing that we're going to make, not the first or second or third or fourth or fifth.
Totally. Yeah, and I'd even go further. Like so it's hard to hold yourself to rules like that, but I would tell Brandon, I would say, hey, I'm gonna release this at the end of the month. It's coming out.
Yeah.
You know, so Brandon could hold me to it. He could hold me accountable. Even just, you know, just sitting on the couch shooting the shit, he'd be, you know, he could be able to say to me, like, so is that actually coming out?
Yeah.
You know? And
or
on
just
top of
mention
that,
to you that I'm looking forward to it.
absolutely. Yeah. So I don't want to let somebody down. And even beyond that, I would advertise it on the internet. I would, at the beginning of the
publicly
month,
say
this one's coming out in 30 days.
That's
right?
a huge part of it that you're pointing out right now.
Yeah.
Because once you say it to other people,
you got to do it. Otherwise, it makes you look bad, or it just makes you look like. Otherwise, you're just like an excuse machine. You're not a music machine.
Yeah.
You know. So, but you know, like I said, producers out there, if you're working on stuff and if you find yourself just being frustrated with, like, you know, you just feel like you're stuck or something, just, you know, start a new production and try this. Cause like for me, it like changed my whole life as far as producing goes. Like it like kind of revolutionized my thinking and my attitude towards my own material, which is just like, you know, just has to come out, you know. So, but yeah, I think it's probably pretty clear we're tired.
Yeah. Yeah. Wherever you are around the world, dear listener, here in California, it's, you know, 10 in the morning, which for musicians
That's 6 a.m.
is like 4:30 a.m. And then where you are, it's just after noon right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's morning for us.
Yeah. 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 We've had.
But I think we are a bit more down tempo than we normally are.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. As you guys know, we're trying to do a lot more with the same amount of time that we have. So we're trying to squeeze in a lot of shit every week
Yes.
on top of everything we're already doing.
Yeah, this week we've been working a lot on our on videos for our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's Black Market Dub on YouTube.
Yep.
We've just rolled out. We're just introducing a new series, a new show that we do, which is album discussions. It's called Playback. We choose an album and we both take some time to listen to it, familiarize ourselves with it, and then we get together and have a nice, deep discussion about this album in particular, and just all the topics, everything that comes up to talk about.
Yeah.
And so this week, in the span of this last week, we've shot 2 episodes, right?
Yeah, I think we shouldn't say the one we shot that will actually come out, because that should be a surprise. But we shot another one before that.
The first one.
We should start the myth now.
Yes.
The first one we shot a 4-hour discussion that would have been edited down. But in real time it was 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours
spent discussing this album.
Not to mention
our whole hearts, emptied the barrel all the way to the bottom of the barrel of our souls of everything that we had to say passionately about this album.
Dude, not to mention we each listened to it at least 4 or 5 times, right?
I had been listening to that album for a month at that point, I think. I listened to it probably 6, 7, 8 times.
I made it through at least 4.5 or 5 times, and it's an hour and 15 minutes long, this album. I'll just tell you, we were trying to do a video on the Guns N' Roses album Chinese Democracy, right? Notorious album for so many fucking reasons.
It's the most expensive album ever made.
Yeah, it was in the works for like almost 20 years. Like they recorded it and re-recorded it like 3 different times. So we did
the most extreme example of development hell.
Yeah.
In the music industry.
Yeah, yeah, and talk about the polar opposite of what I was just talking about.
Yeah, right.
Talk about not giving yourself
deadlines. Setting a deadline and keeping it. Yeah, this is an example of the opposite.
Yeah,
Chinese Democracy.
Yeah. So we did so much fucking prep work for this. The prep work is almost worse than the discussion itself. I would say that, save for the fact that the discussion we had was so good. It was so fucking awesome. It was really funny. It was really fun. We touched on so much shit about this band and this record, and like, it was fucking amazing. And I was by the time the discussion was over, I was just pumped for this thing to come out. I was so stoked, and my excitement rapidly turned to dread and horror as I realized that none of my audio had been recorded. So we're using this. We're using OBS to record these discussions, and I experimented with this plugin that OBS has, so I can record multiple camera angles at the same time. Because normally you can only record one camera angle at once. Whichever one is up is the one being recorded. But this plugin allows you to record any amount of sources you want. So it says, really, it's only 2. And I used this setup for the previous video we had shot, and it worked great. But somehow, in the changeover from changing templates in OBS or whatever, something, it grayed out my where I wanted audio taken from, right? So basically we started shooting the video with no audio selected for my cameras. So we didn't get any of my audio at the end. And it was stupid. It was something like I should have checked, and we both should have checked.
We both should have, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
because one of the steps that we didn't do a recording 101 step.
Totally. Yeah.
That is a thing that we're both professionals, and it's kind of it's kind of bizarre and kind of inexplicable that we
Yeah.
didn't do this one weird trick, which is
Yeah.
to test your recordings
Yeah. Yeah.
for a moment before you
go.
but before you record your show, your critical component, the content that you're here to record. You know?
Yeah. All
We
I
didn't
can
do
say
that.
is that
Don't know why.
we were just so like drunk with excitement and passion
Yeah,
to start
yeah.
that once we did, we just fucking
Yeah.
were off to the races, and it was,
You're right.
we were so excited just to do it. We didn't take any safety precautions at all.
Yeah.
And
So it bit us in the ass. And
bit us in the ass real
in
hard.
the end, what we recorded of our discussion of this album was unusable.
Totally unusable. All of it has to be scrapped, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because it's just Brandon talking and then me mouthing words, and that's all you would see. It would be a one-sided conversation. It'd be very, very strange.
Sounds like a really good video, actually.
Yeah, it could be funny.
Maybe we should just put that out.
Maybe we should. I don't know.
You can just hear me and my thoughts and my points and my observations.
This was
And
obviously
that's all.
like this was obviously like mortifying and traumatic for me. I was like I like wanted to die that night. I was so upset with myself. And we don't even need to go into that because it's the least fun thing to talk about with this. But like, I would like this week I've been like laying awake at night, just like wondering like how could you salvage it where I have no audio? I have no audio. How could you salvage it? And the thing I came up with, I think I mentioned this to you last night, but I thought it was funny. The thing I mentioned was, if we do enough live streams, we can feed an AI algorithm just my vocals into an AI, and it could replicate.
Type out a script of everything that you said.
Yes, this AI could replicate the timbre of my voice, right?
Yes.
Then, if we could hire a lip reader to lip read all of my video from that episode we shot, the lip reader could write down everything we said or could type it out. Then we feed it into the Nate bot, and the Nate bot spits out everything I said, and then we just go in and painstakingly line everything up.
Dude, we should just use the voice bot from TikTok. Like, it doesn't even need to be
true.
your voice. You just be like, today we are here to discuss Guns and Roses, Chinese democracy.
Yeah, like I still make all the like same like salient points, but it's just like some fucking robot voice.
Just, dude, bro,
Yeah.
dude, bro, yeah, totally,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. So we thought, actually, as painful as this whole experience has been, actually though, in the spirit of Chinese democracy, it's fucking perfect. It's fucking perfect. We're gonna have to redo it, just like Chinese democracy.
And it's gonna have to be redone far from now.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like Chinese democracy, because we literally have to. It's kind of like if you watch a movie, or like you know how you need to like give yourself some years before you rewatch Breaking Bad.
Yes.
We can't redo the discussion of this album soon. It's
there's no way. Well, I basically will need to forget. I need enough time to pass to like forget all the points I wanted to make about it. Because I feel like if I were to look at the same note sheet, I would all of a sudden be trying to like recreate a conversation we already had instead of having a new conversation about something we've had conversations about in the past. You know, it would be a total weird, like janky, like rehash of a conversation that no one will ever hear, which I think would make for a really frustrating, strange video. So like, I'm literally like, yeah, maybe in like a year, we can reshoot it. But I'm going to go through and like listen to the album again with fresh ears, take new notes, new observations that may or may not be the same as before, but like I'm going to like burn my old notes so I never even like approach it from the same way again. And we're just going to start over from scratch on it. And hopefully that will make for an interesting video. But yeah, in a lot of ways,
we're going to tell all of you that it's coming, and it's we are gonna release Chinese democracy.
We're gonna release.
We're gonna do Chinese democracy. Like
Any
you
day.
can,
Any day.
yeah, and I'm sure you can really imagine what it's going to sound like, what it's going to be like. But and it is coming, and it's great, and we'll tell you, like, we've heard it.
Yeah, we've heard it's
awesome.
really good. It is awesome. Yeah. And you guys are gonna love it. It's gonna do gangbusters on YouTube. It's gonna get like 400 views or something. It's gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah. So it's gonna be it is great, but when it comes out, you're gonna love it. And
yeah. We just need to do a couple more little touches here and there.
We're still working on it.
Yeah, still working on it.
There's things that we need to record again, redo. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to overdub. I need to double. So every time I make a good point, I want to overdub myself saying it under myself. So it's like emphasis, you know.
Dude, that's a really good idea. Because the way that we do this playback album discussion show is not live streaming like this. It's edited, it's prepared. We do post production for it in a studio.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. We should do that with Chinese Democracy. We should like sweeten it and like have other people like replace guitar solos or replace drums. So we'll get another person to like replace certain lines of our dialogue of us saying things. We should like Chinese Democracy eyes the production of this thing, you know?
I need to hire
and just doubling, like you said, just like choose certain lines where you like re-record and we supplement it with, or you just like do a harmony of something that you said, you know?
Yeah, or I just want to like hire like basically a stand-in to like dress and look exactly like me, but they're like a hair metal guy and they're just like, I think Chinese Democracy is.
Like, but only for certain songs.
Yeah, just for certain passages.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll basically just get like Sebastian Bach to come in and like scream a point I make just for like one passage, and then I'll be back.
And then the other side of me is the same. It's not new. It's the same me reacting to the original you.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think this is a really good idea.
I love it.
And so it's good that we're not releasing it yet, so that we can redo it, so that it can be the new vision that we have.
Yes, yeah. And
the ultimate vision for this, because it's an ambitious vision.
Yeah.
For this episode.
See, like the first video, you know, we're kind of new to this thing, and we're still kind of finding our way in it.
Yeah.
But it was like a very like old kind of approach to it. This next video, I want to go in more of like an electro swing direction. You know, I think that's what the discussion needs. New jack swing. Yeah, that's what the discussion needs to really like spice it up for like the kids, you know. So that's we're gonna take playback episode whatever of Chinese Democracy. Into
it needs to take a new jack swing direction, and it needs. Hang on, I have a sound here.
I have a sound here. You fuck.
No, it needs to. We need to put this. A lot of those sounds in.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. Every time one of us makes a point that's really good, and the other person's like, it's just gonna go, bing.
Yeah, like, whoa, bro.
Oh my god, that shit's so good. So we then pivoted once we realized this discussion was lost forever. It's just gone.
That was Sunday.
That was Sunday.
That was 5 days ago.
Yeah. Sunday night.
Okay.
And so we pivoted. Literally, like I spent a night just like fucking in hell. Like just I don't go easy on myself when I fuck up. So I was going real hard on myself.
Exactly. You guys, like this type of a thing is like Nate has a particular like strong reaction to moments like these, you know, like you know, we all have different things and configurations of stuff. Some people, things just roll off their back, and other people like different personalities or whatever. But like having like experiencing something like that is a particular. Nate has a particular soft spot. It hits you particularly hard. Yeah,
because it's something that like should never happen, right? As like if you're an audio professional, you should always record your audio. But you know,
Yeah, that yes.
so it was
That's one of the
awful. I was like,
fundamental.
yeah, I was
Yes.
like humiliated and just ashamed and upset and angry, and it was like the full spectrum of like grief, like all in like within 24 hours. I went from like, you know, fucking anger, acceptance, denial, fucking the whole nine. You know,
Yeah.
like I was way upset, like disbelief, just like this isn't happening. Like we'll find the audio, like it's somewhere. You know, we'll get it. You know, whatever. And even like going through
Denial.
these delusions of like, oh, I'll just replicate what I said. I'll just overdub myself, like no.
Bargaining.
Yeah, bargaining. Exactly. Yeah, it was awful, and yeah, it was just like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Only thing I can compare it to, I mean, it's just like imagine you like, you know, wrote an essay for your final, you know, and it was like dependent on you graduating. It was like putting this fucking essay out, and you like didn't click save and lost it all the night before it was due or something. Like, you know, it's shit like that. It's just like it's awful, and you can't do anything about it. It's just it's done. You know, it's like there's no bargaining. There's no there's no winning that argument. It's over. You know, technology is like so fucking unforgiving like that. It's brutal.
You were in my thoughts and prayers that night, man. I just knew,
Yeah.
like, my boy's having a bad time over there.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we have pivoted, and
Yes,
Brandon has been so
we rebounded.
Brandon's been so fucking cool about it too. Like totally understanding, totally you know.
We're partners, bro. This is a partnership, and
Yeah.
that means something, and that means two things to me. One is that it's important for me to be a partner because you need a partner, and
Yeah.
the other thing is there's going to be a time when I need a partner,
For sure.
when I'm going to be in those shoes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So yeah, he's yeah, so thank you for being cool about it, man, cuz it's like yeah, if this was like any other situation where I wasn't just doing this like with my friend, it would be like it would be so bad. It would be so incredibly
Yeah.
bad. But luckily
Yeah.
that's not what happened. But yeah, we have pivoted and we're moving forward. It was
Got right back on the horse.
back on the fucking horse.
We talked the next morning.
We found
And
an equally annoying album to then cram and rush into our brains to talk about by yesterday. So from Sunday, this giant fuck up happened and we spent weeks preparing for it. We said, okay, fuck it. We have an alt album ready anyway that we were thinking about doing.
on Monday, we said,
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do this other album that will kind of scratch the same itch as Chinese Democracy in a lot of ways. Not exactly, but like...
I almost just said what it was. I forgot that we're not announcing what it is.
I guess we could, but I mean, I don't know. It'd be better if it was a surprise, I guess.
I think there's like one person listening right now anyway. But.
I did actually post it in my Instagram story a couple days ago, so unless you saw that...
Oh, okay. Just don't look at Instagram, everybody.
yeah, don't. But it's gone now anyway, so no one can even check.
Okay.
But yeah, and you know, yeah, like I said, we pivoted. We shot a new episode last night, and we have safeguards in
album,
place now. Imagine that we actually have.
We're now doing what we should have been doing the whole time.
Yeah, yeah. Which, by the way, you know, the Rubber Soul one and the next one that's coming out in a couple weeks. We shot both of those with no safeguards. I can't even fucking believe we got away with 2 episodes like that. It's insane, really. I'm never gonna look at those 2 episodes the same ever again. I'm always gonna look at those and just be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like we were skating
yeah,
up
right.
and ice making those.
There's no backup recording happening for either of those. But dude, unless I'm remembering wrong, for both of those, we did like a test. We checked to make sure that things were recording before we started the real recording.
We did, but we also still didn't have like a safety net. You know, it was
Yeah,
like,
right,
cool,
yeah.
these work,
If something
but like,
went wrong,
if
then
something
it
goes
was
wrong with
done.
those, they're fucked. You know, there's nothing
Yes.
we could do about it. But now we have at the very least, audio safeguards in place. So we're recording multiple instances of the audio
That's a good point, man.
everywhere. So like last night, I had a double fail-safe in place. So I had the audio recording with the camera this time, which I should have done on the last one. I also had audio recording through an online service that we use, and I had the audio recording directly into our DAW, which was like, all this shit, video editors are probably fucking looking at us like, yeah, no fucking shit you wear, dude. Of course. Which is like, fine. But, you know, we're so green and new to this shit, and we're trying to, like, we're basically, like, I feel like we're, like, 3 laps behind like everyone else that does this thing, and we're running as fast as we fucking can. We're taking every
DIY.
shortcut we can to get to the front of the race, and you know, we stumbled, but we got back up and we kept running, and now we know, and we're not going to make that mistake again. And it's not even going to...
Running up that hill.
Running up that fucking hill, dude. Kate, I love you. Kate.
What?
Kate, is that you in the Upside Down?
Yeah.
Run away from Vecna. What's your favorite song?
I really like Tears for Fears.
Yeah.
They should use more Tears for Fears in Stranger Things.
They fucking should. You know what?
Yeah, they
I bet
should.
it's too early. What year did Songs from the Big Chair come out? Is that 80?
85.
85? Damn, this new season takes place in 86 or 87, right? They have no excuse now.
86, I think.
86.
Yeah, dude. Fucking.
How are they not using Tears
I
for
mean,
Fears
even
yet?
the Tears for Fears first album, which has like fucking bangers on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it came out in like 82 or something.
Yeah, no excuses, Stranger Things. Duffer, you Duffer fuckers, Duffer brothers, get on it, dude. What the
Cave
fuck?
the fuck.
God. You know
Cave
what?
the
If you
fuck.
don't use Tears for Fears, I will never do a third Stranger Things remix EP. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. Gonna hold back on that one. It's on the Duffers now. It's on the
Balls in
Duffers.
your court.
Balls in your court, Duffer Brothers. Oh, man. Yeah. I did have some exciting news yesterday. I don't even know if I should announce this yet, but I'm so fucking stoked that
I wonder what it
feel
is.
like I have to talk about it.
I don't know what it is.
Friend of the show, friend of the project, Ben Zeiderweg, a.k.a. Chudan. Chudan,
nice.
the amazing eclectic electronic musician that I
Chuden.
collaborate with.
Yep.
You know, he's a super horror movie nerd just like me, and
Yeah.
we've done several Stranger Things projects together. I remixed one of his EPs. I've produced a bunch of his music. We've done we did Halloween together last year. We've done Phantasm. We've done all kinds of fun, spooky kind of projects
Yeah,
together.
every time you do Hara. It's
Yeah.
you and
It's me and Chudan.
Chudan.
So him and I have been talking the last couple weeks just about like, hey, what do we want to do this year? Him and I are pretty much good for like a project a year at this point. And you know, we were throwing ideas around like, what should we do this year? We're gonna do something for Halloween again. And I said, so Ben, he currently works at the LA Film School in Los
Okay.
Angeles as a composition teacher, I believe. And one of his, I think it's one of his coworkers, I believe, is, let me look up his name. So this composer named Charles Bernstein is one of his coworkers, and Charles Bernstein is the composer of the theme song for Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh shit.
So I told Ben, I was like, we should do Nightmare on Elm Street. That would be fucking fun. We should do Freddy Krueger for Halloween. And you know, and I was like, and you know the composer, right? Like, why don't you go fucking talk to him? Let him know we're thinking about doing it and see what he says. Like, if he says stay away from my music, then okay, maybe we'll think about something
he's like,
else.
no,
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. Like if there's even a whiff of litigiousness in the air, maybe just like we'll back off. We'll do fucking we'll do Michael Myers again or something.
Say, oh, that's cool. I didn't know I'm suing you.
Yeah. And apparently, Mr. Bernstein gave Ben his like full endorsement for us to do
Nice.
this. So we're gonna do some Nightmare on Elm Street remixes this year, and maybe we can get some kind of a fucking pull quote from the man himself. That's what I really hope for. I want to be able to like press publish on Bandcamp and have like a little quote from this guy that's like,
Yeah.
"Yep, I wrote that."
That would be funny if that's what the
That's
quote
me.
is. Yeah. Like, it's just, yes, I wrote this.
Yep.
And that's all.
Yep.
No comment on
So-
his thoughts of your version.
Pretty fucking cool. So yeah, you could look forward to that. I don't know when we'll start that. Probably around the same time we start the Christmas album, I imagine, which should have been sometime in the past, but hasn't happened yet. So oh well.
Dude, that's a big one. We
That's the one we should start doing once we get a couple more of your live backing track things in the can. We should pivot to just doing Christmas stuff a couple times. We just need 4 really. I mean, I would love to do more, but we only need 4 to like make it a thing. You know, once we have 4, it's at least a thing. Everything else we do on top of that is
Yeah.
like gravy. You know.
So are we doing that from acapellas?
I don't think so. I think we should.
How
do
are we doing the vocal and the melody? How are we doing that?
I don't even think there should be vocals unless we hire singers or something, or if someone wants to guest sing on something. I would rather do all the melodies are handled by Wallace, either on sax or some kind of horn section or something like that. I think I would like it to be instrumental. I think that would be cool. That's how I've pictured it this whole time, at least.
Okay.
Because I did way back in the day when I was still in high school. And I was actually a member of Dub Robot. I was actually playing guitar in Dub Robot. We played a show at the Spaceport 2058, which is the concert stage that we built for Dub Robot back then
In Atascadero, California.
and Spaceport 2058 held a Christmas show. And we played, I don't know, 10, 20 Christmas songs, but they were all instrumental. And it was just like literally this like line of horn players would just like come up and like just blow horn over whatever we were doing. And it was fucking awesome. It was so good. So in my mind, I'm like, I want to recreate that a little bit, you know, that feeling of having just awesome reggae, rock steady kind of, music with just horns holding down the whole, all the melodies. Because it was awesome. It's like a show I still think about like all the time. It's one of my favorite shows I've ever played. And there's film of it. There's actually footage of it that I have somewhere. It's in some fucking, I don't know where the fuck it is now, but it's somewhere. And I remember I used to watch it and rewatch it because I was just like, this is so fucking good. We should just like put this out as something, you know. But yeah, so I kind of picture it like that. But you're thinking of it of having like singers or something.
That's what I was thinking, because like
Well, you
To
could
me,
certainly sing one if you wanted.
I'm okay. I may want to do like a
get
Bing
John Roy
Crosby tribute.
We could
Dude,
get John Roy to do one.
he would be incredible for that.
Yeah.
Because to me,
This is
Christmas
something we
music
should
is all
talk to-
about Bing Crosby
Yeah.
specifically.
Okay. We should talk to
and-
John Roy about doing this as like a real release or something. That would be cool. 'Cause
See, that's
a
Christmas
money-
music. That's smart.
moneymaker.
People might actually buy that.
Oh, hey, Sidewalk Andy's checking in. Hey, lads, congrats on the new show. I really enjoyed the style and content. Wow.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Andrew.
Andy. Thank you, bud.
Good to see you,
Glad you watched
little
that.
fella.
I guess we could comment on that real quick. Last week we debuted our brand new show Playback that we've been
That's
kind of
right.
talking about, and it's doing really fucking well. Okay, like It's approaching, I think, 300 views in like 5 or 6 days, which I know doesn't sound like very much, but
Yeah,
honestly,
it's not.
for us, you guys, that's like
For
really,
us,
really
that's
good.
a lot.
Yeah, like, so I'm not even gonna downplay how excited I am that it's even
Yeah.
gotten that much attention. Obviously, that's like less than a raindrop in the ocean that is YouTube, but for us, it's like, hey man, we're building something. You know, we're working our way up to the, you know, to get to where the big kids are on YouTube. So for us, man, we'll take it. 300 views, fucking thank you guys. Thank all of you so
Yes.
much. Dub clap for everybody that watched fucking playback this week.
Give yourselves a hand. Clap, clap.
Oh! Playback is so good. Fuck. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching that. Yeah, it's gotten a really good response, actually.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm really happy with it.
I mean, if Andy likes it, then
Yeah.
it must be good, because
And
Andy
you know what?
has the best taste in the world.
The way I kind of, the benchmark I try to follow with these playback shows now is like, if it genuinely makes me laugh, like genuinely, then we fucking nailed it. Like, not even just that. Like, there's several things, but like laughing is a big one for me. Like, if I'm genuinely like just
Yeah, if there's no
laughing
laughs,
and
it sucks.
enjoying, then I know that we did something right. Because as long as you and I are having fun and enjoying and laughing and making each other smile and have fun while we do it, then it's like, it's good. Like, it is good, you know, and we're on the right track.
Yeah.
All the other stuff we just have to edit, you know. But yeah, thanks
Yeah.
Andy. Thanks Andy and everybody who watched it this week. Really, genuinely, like, I really wasn't expecting more than like 50 plays. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I was kind of like, you know what? If that, I was at least preparing myself for that. Like, if that's all it gets, that's certainly within the realm of possibility for our channel. So, you know, that's okay. You know, that is reflective of how wide our reach is right now, which is not very many. So, you know, if that's what happens, that's what happens. But it's also on YouTube forever now. It's online forever now. So, you know, it's not going to stay that way forever. Someday it's going to have thousands and thousands. I have no doubt. But, you know, right now people just have to find it, which seems to kind of be happening, which is cool.
Yeah. And in the meantime, we love those 300 people.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. Even probably both of our moms who've watched it like 4 times each or 5, or just
Yeah, it
pressing
could be.
play on the background of their computer, letting it run all
I don't
day.
think my mom has seen it yet. I know she will. don't
I think that's
she has
funny.
seen it.
It's funny I just said that because I actually know for a fact my mom hasn't even watched it.
Well, that just got real sad.
I like texted
No,
my
no,
parents.
no, she did. She watched it over at my place last night.
Shut the fuck. I hate it.
She likes my
Shut the
parts.
fuck up.
So the other thing
Mm-hmm.
that Nate has a particular sensitivity to. The other thing. There's only 2. The other one is mom jokes.
I fucking hate them. I think they're stupid as
I-
fuck.
I know,
I
I
hate
know.
how dumb they are, and I hate how dumb I am that they always make me laugh. It's so fucking stupid. I hate it. I resent mom jokes because they fucking always make me laugh, and at the same time, I'm like, fuck you. That's not funny.
Yeah.
But I'm always laughing. So yeah, that's how my brain works, I guess.
Okay.
Which is not at all. Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I'm done with that. I'm satisfied. I've gotten all I need from that. I'm done.
Do you? I'm gonna click the doubt button on my.
Oh,
controller
you're talking about
here.
some LA Noir right now?
Yeah, dude. Oh my God,
Nice,
I didn't know
dude.
if
I
you'd
didn't
get
know you
that
played
reference.
LA Noir.
Dude, I loved LA.
LA Noir's the shit.
They need to make another one of those. Fuck Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto. I'm fucking over that shit. Who cares? Make fucking LA Noir 2. Make like, dude, that game was so good. For when did that come out? Like 2012, 2013 or something?
Yeah.
And that game was fucking awesome for
was
back
great.
then. I imagine like Red Dead Redemption 2 style scope, kind of amount of content, level of detail.
That would be amazing.
But it's like set in like fucking 1930s, like LA or New York or whatever. Like, and it's like detective noir shit. That shit is, that's like my bread. I love that kind of stuff. It's so fucking good.
They like half of what is so great about that game is just like you could use it in classrooms just as a thing to walk around Los Angeles so accurately recreated at a certain period of time.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is like there's East LA, there's the beach, there's fucking downtown, like there's the hills, there's Hollywood. It's like it's all there. It's amazing. Yeah, and just as like a cool like cultural like little artifact to like search through old LA. It's just fucking awesome. And like seriously, there's no cooler time and place than like golden age Hollywood, like old Hollywood LA. It is fucking the coolest setting for anything. I don't care. Like basically just like Chinatown, like Jack Nicholson Chinatown fucking type shit. It's like amazing. Love that shit.
Hey, one second, I'll be right back. I need to unlock the door for my mom who just arrived. Mom's here.
Okay.
You cover for me for a second?
Yes. So Andy says, well, both of these are referring to Brandon. So Brandon, side note, after you mentioned GoTA 2 weeks ago, strangers started popping up on my Instagram, YouTube the next day. Thanks, Google. I've actually never listened to GoTA. I know Brandon really loves them. So I'm glad to say this while he can't hear me because otherwise he'd probably poop on me. So I've not heard GoTA. But Andy, if you're watching, where should I start with GoTA? Is there a good place that you've discovered since discovering them? And then also, wow. Oh my God. Also, Tears for Fears. We should absolutely do Tears for Fears in dub. Or Wise All sings his favorites, Tears for Fears. He would fucking murder that shit.
Yo.
He's Sidewalk Andy's asking, hey, you're riffing on Tears for Fears. Are we getting a dub of Tears for Fears anytime soon? Which, like, fuck, we should totally do that. That would be fucking sick.
Yeah, I'm in for that Black Market EP of Tears for Fears. I think that's a really good idea. Have we not thought of that before?
We have not thought about that.
Yeah,
literally...
but Andy, you're aware of my version of The Working Hour by Tears for Fears, right?
Yes.
Right? I mean, you must be. I'm sure you are. But if you haven't heard it, I mean, it's the song that on the same album right before Everybody Wants to Rule Your Mom. I mean, the world. And then, Brandon, side note, after you mentioned GoTA 2 weeks ago, it strangely started popping up on my Instagram and YouTube the next day.
Check this out.
Is that the freaking... It's in sync for me, but it's not going to be in sync for you.
So guess what? We'll definitely be able to dub that one. Let's see about this one. Oh, these are actual multi-tracks. Because this is like a fucking... This is a mix down. So they combined the guitar with the vocals for this. Oh my God, we're doing Tears for Fears dub this year for sure.
Holy shit.
Listen how good these sound. Okay, there's two. We need four.
You have no idea how happy I am about this.
We need four, everybody. We need four.
Okay,
I think we've got three here. Look, this is definitely another one. Oh, wait,
yeah, I mean, so those are the two big ones right there. Is Everybody Wants to Rule the World and Head Over Heels. Okay, you got Shout.
Okay, we didn't do Shout. That's the one we didn't click.
It's your Shout.
Dog, we're doing Tears for Fears this year for sure. They gave you life. These sound so good. These are some of the best vocal stems I've ever even like discovered.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
But what else?
Head Over Heels, Shout, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. What else? We need one more.
There's Sowing the Seeds of Love. That's a really good. Oh, dude, Mad World.
Fuck. Oh, this is a fucking shitty rip. Sounds okay, but it's not good enough.
It sounds like it's based on the actual acapella, but it's just a low quality
Okay,
version.
this
Mother's
YouTuber,
Talk.
this
good.
YouTuber
Song
is look at this is their whole
Oh.
fucking thing.
You
Look at all
fucking
these.
bastard. Okay.
This is like gold mine. Oh my god, this. Okay, I'm subscribing.
Whoa, Rammstein.
Radio only. Bunch of Rammstein. Oh look, they've got the whole.
Wait. Okay. Do
Okay, so
fr-
they
from
did
there.
these two. So some of these are
do-
shitty rips as well.
Click on like suffered the children, or the hurting, only vocals. The ones of them black and white of the two guys together.
So children. Oh.
The next one, that one. Try
I have
to
a
see
feeling
what this
these are.
sounds like.
Okay, so he's saying right here, even though this is not the official extractable acapella like my other previous playlists, Songs for the Big Chair and The Seeds of Love. So it sounds like he's got both of those albums. So let's just keep going until we get to those albums. Yeah, look, he's got the whole fucking Songs from the Big Chair here, all of them.
Wow.
So okay, what's the other good one on Songs from the Big Chair that we should?
Well,
do?
I mean, in my opinion, the working hour, but
But you've already done that.
I did that.
Yeah, we don't need to do that one again, but that would be sweet.
But so then after that, it would probably be Mother's Talk.
Okay, let's see.
It was a good song.
The real
Wow,
move, dude.
His technique, his vocal. These guys are
is this the
such
whole
good
album?
singers.
Is
Yep.
this the whole album? The
Yeah.
real move would be to just say, "Fuck it, let's do Songs from the Big Chair, the full
do the
album
entire
in dub."
Okay,
that would probably I imagine stir some interest somewhere. You know, I don't know.
That's a really good idea. We should just do that.
Yeah. What else do they got here?
Should we do that after Radiohead?
Yeah.
Just not wait.
Yeah, I think so. I think we should immediately start work on Tears for Fears once we're done with Radiohead. I think that would be fucking
It's
sweet.
made me so happy.
I don't know if we'll do the whole album or not. What do you think? Is that too much, or do we break it up?
I like the ambition. I
wild.
think and I like the way that you're thinking about it, which is like, if we're gonna do it, why not just
call it-
it's all here.
call
Why
it-
not just do it?
Dubs from the Big Chair. That's all it has to be.
Songs from the big dub. Songs from the
big
dub
dub.
chair.
Songs
Songs
from the dub
dub the
chair.
big chair. Songs
Chat.
from dub big chair.
Chat, tell us how do you work in the word dub into the title Songs for the Big Chair? Where do you
I think
put
it would
dub?
be songs from dub big chair.
I think
I
it's
think is
dub chair. I think that would be really cool. That really lays it, like hammers it home what we're doing. You know what I mean? Dub chair. I think that's really cool.
or we can play off of one of the song titles.
Yeah, that's true.
Like we could take the
See,
song
I-
title "Shout" and then work it in so that
call it
our
Dub.
title is this dub. I think it's a clever play on words.
Yeah. Mother's dub.
Everybody wants to dub the world.
I dub.
I dub.
That way it's just really clear. People know right away exactly what we're referencing. You know, if someone sees I dub, they're like, "Oh, Tears for Fears. Wow, amazing."
So Dom votes dub from the big chair, which is probably the real answer. If
I
we're
think
not
that's
being silly and stupid,
I
that's
agree.
that's like the
Dub
smart
from the
one.
Big Chair.
And then Sidewalk Andy says Mad Dub, and Andy wants to play off of a song that is not on this album. But that's one way of approaching it, Andy. Yeah.
Well, if we did the whole thing, I think we'd have to call it some iteration of Songs from the Big Chair, because that's exactly what it is. And I'd even want to like do the same track listing, like do the whole thing like exactly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like
Which would be unprecedented in Black Market history, right?
Yeah.
You've never done a straight remake of an album.
No, and I kind of, in a lot of ways, I don't want to, and I don't really know why. Mostly just because I like the brevity of the EPs. I like how quickly the turnaround is when we only do 4 of them. And I can stretch this out from 1 release into 2 releases, which is cool, or 3 sometimes. But I get that the how satisfying it would be to have an entire dub version, reggae version of songs from the Big Chair would just be like fucking sweet. But let's say we did do the whole album. What the fuck do we do with the working hour? How do we do that then?
We just do it again.
Yeah,
We do it the Black Market way.
do it again, but I would probably not listen to yours at all.
Yeah.
I would do the whole remix.
Do the way that you the way you
Yeah.
hear it, your
Yeah, the
solution to the problem.
Exactly. And then it would be very similar, but it would be a different version, you know.
And it would be with the original vocal too, because I mean mine
That's
is in a
true.
different key.
Oh,
I had to
okay.
change the key,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
It's my vocals, it's not the original.
Well, hey, oh man, I was just gonna say this person's name, and now it's like, why? I'm not even gonna try. Arlie, shout out, dude.
Arle Araujo.
You are killing it with all
Araujo.
these fucking stems, man. This is amazing. So I will be revisiting this later today to certainly.
Oh, hey, instrument. Just
all
out of
these.
curiosity, see what the instrumental sounds like.
Okay. For like this one.
So, I'm wondering if it's broken down. No. I was just curious if there's any kind of like element of it being isolated that could
Yeah.
be used. So like for instance to differentiate your version of head of not of the working hour from mine, like if it uses elements of like the original guitar or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, man. I think we should do songs from the Big Chair in dub. We should do the whole thing. I think
this
that would
is
be
so-
fucking sweet.
This is so good. This is such a good idea, man.
Yeah. Songs from the basically what it will be is our release schedule.
Andy,
Wow. All right, here we go.
you had to change the key, Brandon, to stop Nate's mom from coming over. I tried to stop her from coming over,
Okay.
but nothing seems to work. Andy, I'll tell
Andy,
you.
I want you to know that I've been on your side up until just now. You've crossed me, my friend. You know, Groove Strangers sent us glasses, and mugs. If you really want to make this up to me, I want some fresh beans. Fresh
dude,
beans.
He's over there sitting on
overnighted
his
from
mountain
Germany.
of coffee,
Yeah.
just hoarding, and his dragon's hoard of coffee beans, and has
Yeah.
given Nate none.
Yeah, hasn't given me any.
Nary a bean.
Not a single bean. Yeah. And yet, here you are making mom jokes like you're Brandon. Disappointed, frankly.
Disappointed. I wish I had that soundboard right now.
Yeah.
Just look it up real quick.
Cool. Well, we will certainly revisit this idea. Catch you later. Let's see. Andy's he's running scared now. He knows.
He's I was like, whoop,
Nate's out
well,
here
later.
demanding beans. Andy's like, whoa, gotta go. No beans for you. Andy, thanks for watching, man, and thanks for checking out Playback. And thanks,
dude.
thanks
Good-
for always
good to
being
see
here,
you.
man. You're a real one
Good to
for
see you.
sure.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, baby.
Yeah, we will see you next week. Okay, well, we've kind of we're kind of late on this segment, but we should get into
That's
it.
true.
Let's do the playing music that other people made segment.
Other people's music. Other people's music.
Yeah. All right, so the first song we have on deck is from Alfred Jones, and it's a song called Fresno. I've only briefly listened to this one, so I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. So I'm excited. Let's
Fresno being a
being a wonderful city is what you're about to say, huh?
my God. Well,
Cradle,
it's a
one of
city
the
in
one of the
California.
cradles of civilization, Fresno.
It's a city in California.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yes,
all
it
right.
is.
Fans of the fiction by John Steinbeck, the great author John Steinbeck, may be familiar with Fresno.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't need to give our opinions on Fresno.
Oh, Andy,
It's a lovely place.
leaving us with, hey, I got my Black Market dub mug because I'm a patron,
Nice.
and smash the like and subscribe chat beep for the smash the likes and subscribes.
Smack them.
Smack
Yeah.
'em.
Enjoy your
mug, man.
your swag and your benefits of being a Black Market Dub patron and supporter. Sidewalk Candy.
I'm going to drop the Patreon link in the chat. Go ahead and hit that link if you want to become a patron. And after, I don't know how long it takes, a couple months, you'll get a mug. And if you keep going, you'll get like a hoodie and like all kinds of shit. So, yeah, come join the Patreon party.
Yes.
All right, without further ado, let's get into Fresno by Alfred Jones.
Okay. Lovely guitar tone.
Call me late at night, you said you want me back. You know I
This is so
really
good.
wanna walk right in that night. Your heart is right, but I can't go back to you. I'm putting on now. I won't lie, yeah, you changed my life. And tonight I might change your life. Got no plans, so I'm free tonight. We can stay till daylight. You broke my heart, I was waiting for the let go. Swore I wouldn't leave until you said so. I've been waiting out on you from the get-go. Out in Fresno, out in Fresno. You broke my heart, I was waiting for the let go. Swore I wouldn't leave until you said so. I've been waiting out on you from the get-go. Out in Fresno, out in Fresno. From the get-go, you know I couldn't let go. And I'm back now, I hope you get the memo. You know I tried, but Cupid threw his arrow. I wanna leave, but you had me at hello. I won't lie, yeah, you changed my life. And tonight I might change your life. I got no plans, so I'm free tonight. We can stay until daylight. You broke my heart, I was waiting for the let go. Swore I wouldn't leave until you said so. I've been waiting out on you from the get-go. Out in Fresno, out in Fresno. You broke my heart, I was waiting for the let go. Swore I wouldn't leave until you said so. I've been waiting out on you from the get-go. Out in Fresno, out in Fresno. I've been waiting out on you from the get-go, from the get-go. I've been waiting out on you out in Fresno, out in Fresno.
Word, out in Fresno.
Hell yeah.
Alfred Jones. Way to go, man.
Incredible, Alfred.
Brandon, you wanna go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Okay, Alfred, this is fantastic. Fantastic. There's you have all of the building blocks of what a song like this needs
Yeah.
present in here. Man, the vocal performance is just so spot on. Like the way that you're performing and the way that you're singing the part and what the part is that you're singing, the lyrics and everything, it's perfect. Nothing to change about any of that. The guitars and the synthesizers, perfect. And the parts that they're playing are really well written. The drum sounds, the sound of the kick, the sound of the snare, the sound of the hi-hat, the way
Very
that it's
very strong.
mixed sounds fantastic. Nothing to change about any of that. In terms of like suggestions or offering ideas, maybe opportunities for further improvement on a song that is really good, I would say is the only things that I hear anyway are in the area of arrangement and arranging, like the way that
a lot of stops and starts.
yeah, I think so one thing is to have So you have moments where the drums stack up. It sounds like there's about 4 different like sections of drums, 4 drum patterns and like levels of dynamics that the drums go through. I think that you should arrange them so that they match where the vocals go. It sort of sounds like the drums go to what you would think of as being chorus drums, while the vocal is still doing what sounds like is kind of a verse situation. So I think you should pick and choose a moment and a section of the song where it's like, this is the hook. And everything drops right there. You know, there's a moment of silence from the drums right before that, and it comes in with a new beat, maybe that like syncopated beat, the boom, cat, boom, boom, cat, like the one where the kick drum isn't just playing on all the quarter notes, and have the music and the vocals really come in, maybe some like background vocal production or something, but just something to clearly delineate. It seems like the vocals and the drums are not agreeing on what section of the song we're in at times. Then it sounds like it needs a section, and like imagine you're in the club, and this song is playing and everyone is dancing. I think that this song needs another section that isn't in here right now, that gives breath and it gives a pause in the vocal action. The way that the vocal is perfect, but I think that it needs a couple points, maybe only 2 points in the song, maybe 3, where that steadiness of the vocal happening kind of stops, and there's a break, and all that it needs to sound like is when you go to Out in Fresno, just have a period, section of the song where that's all that happens. You don't even need to record anything new. You can like edit this. This goes Out in Fresno, then music, 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 music. Out in Fresno, music, 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 music. Just like a cool. Just let the synthesizers and the drums make everybody dance for a part.
Yeah,
and you just say Out in Fresno at the beginning of every bar.
Yeah, there's no let up. There's no period where the vocals let up at all. It's like
exactly
the whole time.
They start and it's just steady all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it would benefit from a little pause and a little break.
Totally.
And you can take some cues from some DJs and EDM artists, and just like the way that people who make club music, the way that they like structure where the vocals happen. I think if you model yourself after that, this is a hit. This is a legend. This is really, really, really good music. That's what I think.
Yeah. So I'll start with positives first. I can definitely echo a lot of what Brandon said. The drums are really strong, although I agree there are kind of some arrangement choices that could have been made that would make this whole thing a little more interesting. But the drums themselves, the sounds are really strong. I love that it's kind of a mix between like different eras of like kind of lo-fi sounds. You've got the synths are like kind of big 80s callbacks, which is awesome, and I love that. And then the guitar kind of feels more like a 90s kind of thing, like a 90s lo-fi thing. So you've got these like big 80s synths, like Kanye graduation synths, mixed with like kind of these little Kurt Cobain kind of riffs. It's actually a really cool juxtaposition, and I really, really like it. And I think there's a lot of crossover between people that like those two things, right? Especially right now. Those things are both really popular, and you kind of see them confluencing, and you can hear it on this track, which I think is really cool. What else? I am going to take a little bit more of a critical look at this one, though. I think there's a couple things that are bothering me about this.
Interesting.
Particularly in the vocal, actually.
Okay.
So, and again, this could just be my headphones, my listening, environment could be influencing this. But to me, the vocal is like very sibilant. like very, very sibilant. And I'm not even talking when he goes "s" or makes a sound like that. It's very present when that happens, but it's like anytime the vocal comes in, it's like there's so much high end cranked on that vocal around like anywhere between like 1 and 10K. There's something going on in there that like every time the vocal comes in, it's like the timbre of his voice itself, the vocal itself sounds like this big sibilant like burst all of a sudden every time his vocal comes in. And it sounds like the vocal's like gated, so like the vocal comes in and then when he's not singing, it's not there, and then he comes in and then it's not there, but I can hear it. Like I can hear the vocal come in before he even starts singing sometimes, because I hear this like high end like cranked so hard. So that's one thing I would say that I would try to adjust maybe on your next track is it's really good to have a bright poppy vocal. You're totally on the money thinking that's a good idea, and it is a good idea, but you have to kind of be careful too, because you know, a little bit of low end, low mids, that's like the soul of the voice. That's what kind of can get people to latch on, and that's the area of the human voice that like can like really penetrate and like help you sing along and like latch on to something. And when all that's kind of gone and you're cranking the top end so much, it can get a little grating at times. So the other thing about the vocal is the choice of auto-tune, which I think is being used as an effect here, which I think is cool and totally warranted to do. But it reminds me of a track on the new Father John Misty album. Okay, Chloe and the Next 21st Century, I think is the album, is what it's called. And it's a really cool album. And he makes this inexplicable choice on one of the songs where he has this very faint warbly tremolo on his voice on one song, and it's like this amazing song, and yet his voice sounds like it's going like that the whole time. And it kind of takes me out of the song in a big way. And like even if you just kind of listen, it's a little more apparent on this vocal in the verses, but I hear the auto-tune doing a similar kind of warble, right? It sounds like at the end of your phrases, the auto-tune, it's like
a little wiggle at the end.
it's like a artificial vibrato. And so it's like the auto-tune it feels like it's trying to be subtle and overt at the same time, and I think you kind of have to go one way or the other with it.
Okay. Like if you're gonna do it,
if you're gonna do it, either make it super obvious or don't do it.
Interesting.
If you're using it as like an effect like this, or if you do use it, if you do use it and don't want people to notice, make it way more transparent than it is, because right now I can hear it warbling.
Right.
I can hear it warbling, and it's not a very satisfying sound to hear. That's kind of all I have for the vocals. I think his delivery is really cool. It's very laid back. It fits the style of the song. It's very like contemporary kind of delivery, which I think is all good. And the lyrics are cool too. The other thing I've got with the track though is there's two things with the track itself that are bothering me. One is the track is not very dynamic. So although there's frequently parts where the drums and bass and everything drops out and it's just vocals, the verses sound as loud as the choruses, right? They don't sound, there's no, like when the chorus comes in, it's like all the instruments are playing this big burst of music, but it doesn't feel like it because they're the same volume as where we just were in the verse, right?
It's the same mix, yeah.
Yeah, the mix is Spotify, suck on my D. So I think introduce a little bit more dynamics into the mix would be really cool. Even if like literally on the master bus, if you were to just draw an automation point where anytime the chorus comes in, you bump it up by 1 dB. And when the verse comes back, maybe you bring it down by a dB. So it's like, so there's a range of about 3 dB in the track where when it's low, it's -1, maybe there's a middle area where it's at 0, and maybe there's a point where in the choruses and maybe the outro of the song it's like pushed like plus a dB, so you get that kind of movement as if this is like either a real performance or that you're listening to or a real band. It has that kind of energy, which I think would really help the track. And then the last thing I would say about the track itself is, so I'm sitting here with a wearable subwoofer on in my chair. Okay, so like I can really feel the bass. Okay, but I noticed,
Literally.
yes, I literally can feel the bass. I'm literally resting up against a subwoofer right now while I'm listening to your track. But I noticed something that kind of drew my attention, which was I felt the bass synth before I heard it, right? So I felt it, and I started going, oh, there's bass synth right here, because I can feel that happening. And then I turned my subwoofer off and was like, but it's really quiet. I can't actually hear the bass. I feel it. It's definitely there. The sub frequencies are like
That's an issue.
overpowering. They're not even overpowering is not the right word. They're perfect. They're really good. But the actual tone of the bass,
you need the rest of it. Yeah.
you need the rest of it. Yeah, the actual sound of like the bass, you can hear it, but it's very, very, very pulled back in the mix.
Yeah.
So the subs are where they should be, but the rest of the character of the bass is I can't hear it. You don't really hear it. You're feeling it, but you're not hearing it, which is a problem. You know, if you're not listening to this song on a nice system or with nice headphones, or if you're listening to this somewhere where your listening environment or your listening devices can't reproduce the required frequencies to actually feel the bass, because if you can't feel it in this track, you're almost going to have the impression that it's not quite there at all, even though if you listen, it is there. I think there's so much to like really love about this track, and it is really, really good. He's doing a lot of like really cool contemporary stuff that is like
all the hard parts are done.
All the hard parts are done. Yeah, it's all like little
making the music itself good.
Exactly.
Is done.
Yeah, exactly. It's all little subtle things in the mix that I think could be just massaged a little bit, that would kind of put this track over the top for me. But very enjoyable track, really great song, really fun. This is another one of those songs that just kind of like takes me back to like being a kid and fucking around, falling in love.
It feels like summer break.
Totally feels like summer break, yeah, which is a great vibe to hit on a track. So
feels like a road trip.
Yeah.
So
Alfred Jones, dude, you killed it. You did a really, really good job. Thank you for being a good sport. If you're watching this later, these are just our 2 cents. We are not. I am not Rick Rubin. I am just a guy. So you can take everything me and Brandon are saying and shove it up our asses if you want. That's totally cool too. Thank you for submitting your music. Takes a lot of guts to submit your music, something like this. So good job. Man. Dub clap for Alfred.
Yeah, good job. Woo.
Thanks,
Go
Alfred.
out.
I'm gonna switch headphones. I was afraid this was gonna happen because I'm listening. Okay. I'm not using the headphones that I normally use to listen critically to something.
Okay.
I couldn't even hear that high frequency thing that you referred to.
Yeah, I'd be curious. Well, Spotify's on an ad now, so I don't want to re-listen to it now. But maybe later. Check that tune out and tell me if you hear that stuff, or I'm just going crazy.
Here we go.
All right. This next one is by, I love this fucking track art right now. Look at this. Just fucking Pacino coked out of his fucking mind. It's so awesome. I just rewatched Scarface recently, and it was as good or better than I remember. It's so fucking awesome. That movie's so good. Extremely violent. Glad I watched it at age 10. It really did good things.
Oh my god.
So
the shower scene.
Dude, yeah. The fucking shower scene. And Brian De Palma, who directed Scarface, he's like he's like notorious for basically being like, he just takes Hitchcock shots and like redoes them, and like they're Brian De Palma is the closest thing we have to Hitchcock living today, and who's like contemporary making movies still.
Because of how much he steals from him.
Yeah, straight up. Just like he like stylistically, he has just like kind of adopted Hitchcock as like his style guide, so it's no mystery to me at all that one of the best scenes in Scarface is a fucking violent shower scene, just like Psycho.
Oh, because
just like in Psycho.
I never put that together.
Yeah.
Well, and I never realized that there was a connection between De Palma and Hitchcock. That's interesting.
All right, so this next track is by friend of the show, Gustaf Rosander, aka Magaduppy.
Magaduppy.
Who, if you were here during the pre-show, you would have heard one of Magaduppy's songs on the playlist today. Magaduppy is a dub artist. He's a reggae musician based out of, I want to say, where did he say he's from? Switzerland or Sweden? I always get those confused. Sweden. Reggae artist based out of Sweden. Really, really talented guy. Great friend of the show. We love whenever he's in the chat. I don't think he's here today, but I'm sure he'll see this later. And he sent us a submission that was not reggae music and not dub music. He made a bunch of older music a few years ago, and he thought we would get a kick out of checking out some of his older stuff.
Nice.
Which I agree. I think that will be fun. And specifically, he sent 2 tracks that he kind of mentioned in the email were like loosely based on stylistically the 9 Inch Nails album With Teeth, which was
Whoa, nice.
Wow. Burp literally slipped out. That was awesome. Doesn't really happen very often. So he, what the fuck was I saying? I don't know.
With Teeth.
With Teeth. Okay. So With Teeth, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one, but that was like a huge 9 Inch Nails record. That was like a big, to me, that was like a very big commercial album for 9 Inch Nails. That one got like really, really heavy radio play. Lots of like really big singles from that record. Honestly, was never my favorite 9 Inch Nails album, mostly just because I listened to the radio back when it came out and it was like so overplayed. But at this point, it's pretty easy to acknowledge as yet another fantastic 9 Inch Nails album from Reznor. Yeah. He did a couple tracks that were like in the style of With Teeth, which I thought that's really cool. That's very interesting. And then he went on to make reggae. Like, what the fuck? It's cool. So let's check this out. Misery at First Sight, unfinished. So I guess that's a big caveat we have to take into this.
Unless it's part of the title.
Unless it's part of the title. That's true. We're not finished with your misery, you little prick. We're going to keep miserying you. I don't know. Okay, Misery at First Sight, Gustaf Rosander. Here we go.
Hell yeah.
Dude, yes.
This is so good.
At last, I found someone who's always there for me. The world fades away when she caresses me.
Wow, that was fucking sick.
Wow,
That
my
was
goodness.
so fucking sick.
Okay, you get to go first.
Wow, I don't even know what to say. That is fucking sick as fuck. I've never heard
So good.
I've never heard someone
So good.
besides Trent Reznor make a Nine Inch Nails song. That's kind of how I feel
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
right, yeah. That is the closest
Yeah,
emulation.
I don't think
I've ever
anyone's
heard.
even like tried that I've heard to like just straight up do Nine Inch Nails. Like, and it's like so many aspects of this he's nailing,
Yeah,
not just with teeth, but like just the overall vibe of Nine Inch Nails. Like,
yeah,
it's
right.
so
Yeah, it's wider than with
recognizable.
teeth. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
like-
there's pretty Hate Machine vibes in here and everything.
Totally.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a Trent demo or something.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't know why I say it does kind of have a demo sound to it. But that's not necessarily, I'm not knocking it for that because I get that he's not finished with it quite.
Yeah.
But man, God, I love this. There's so many things about this that's great. So all of the sounds you've got going are one super authentic to the Nine Inch Nails sound, which is really cool. But also they just sound great. The kind of distorted kind of like ahs that are happening like right now that are like kind of fluttering in between your left and right ears. Super cool. Really love that. I really love the bass and drums. It's really, really strong. It reminds me of like, kind of reminds me of like a Kraftwerk beat, like stuff off like the Man Machine. It reminds me a little bit of that. Like just
Yeah,
like
I
the,
mean,
the
and
the
that's
rhythms
one
of
way
it, at least.
to sound like someone else. It's one way to sound like Trent or anyone is to sound like their influences.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, all the synths are so cool. I would say the one thing that I think would be great to hear is I think your lyrics are really cool. I actually really like your voice, Gustaf. But it's two things about your delivery that I think you could change if you were to work on this music again. And one would be, I think, just your overall delivery, I think could probably be a little more like whispery and like kind of creepy sounding. That's kind of a Trent thing that I think you could do that would like just make this
Yep.
really awesome. And then also
Yeah.
like
The
was
voice of a
holding-
man who's been imprisoned in a cage.
Yeah.
It's just like
Totally. Yeah, make your
Yep.
your vocal delivery sound a little more creepy, have a little bit more of a character to it. Like maybe imagine you're
Okay.
somebody else while you're singing it.
Yeah.
Imagine you're some kind of fucking freaky
Nice.
weirdo character while you're singing it.
That's a good note. Like bring some theater to it. Like
Totally
like
bring some
like
theater to it.
acting to
Yes.
the. Oh, that's a good note. man.
Absolutely. And then the other thing was, I was holding my breath, hoping that we were going to hear you just fucking explode. Just let out, just scream, or just get really big and angry and loud and yell and, some kind of just super over-compressed, distorted, just like fucking scream by the time the song climaxes. And that never quite happened, but it didn't. It's okay that it didn't happen, but I think that would be really cool. Payoff for this song would be some gigantic like emotional release. Like if you
Yep.
deliver the whole song in this kind of creepy mad whisper, and then by the end you're just like fuck. I think that would be fucking really sweet. But man, not even just saying, I'm not even heaping praise on Gustaf because he's a friend of the show. I'm really not. If I had stuff
Yeah,
to poop
this
on,
is actually that good.
yeah, if I had
Yes.
reason to poop on this, I would absolutely drop trout and I would fucking start down.
Drop trout. I haven't heard anybody say drop trout in way too long.
Yeah, it's been too long.
I'm glad you did.
We're bringing it
Thank
back.
you.
So, man, if I had bad things to say, I would, but I really love it, especially considering it's essentially like kind of a mix in progress. Man, you're on the money. You're nailing it. This is fucking really, really fun to hear. So great
Yeah.
work, Gustaf. Brandon, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this track?
Okay, so yeah, for me, what's the first thing? Okay, yeah, first I'm really actually glad and excited that this is an unfinished song. This is a song that
Yeah.
is still in
Yeah.
production, because most of the time, when we do this on the show, we're giving feedback on a song that is finished, and
Right.
and the
Which I'm
artist is
sure
not
could be-
working on it anymore.
I'm sure
So,
it could be frustrating to hear when you know the song's done and people are like picking at
Right.
it. It's like, dude, what the
Right.
fuck can I do now? You know?
right. Yeah. So when, for future reference, everybody who submits your music, when we're giving you like that feedback on a song that is already done, then it's contributions for future thought for your future projects.
Yeah.
But this is kind of exciting because we get to give feedback on something that, if Gustaf likes what we're saying and actually does want to implement something that we're saying, that it could actually end up contributing to this actual song that we're talking about. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Same, like I've already said, I think this is amazing. My two notes, one of them is the exact same note that Nate already said, which is, so basically the way that I'm thinking about it is, I think that there are two elements, two classic Nine Inch Nails like tropes that this song would benefit from. Not even, and the reason not primarily being just because it's a way that you can closer emulate Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails, but just it just happens to be so close stylistically that he often does two things with his songs that I think would make this song sound better too. And one of which is what Nate already said, which is, I think there should be a section probably like 3/4 of the way through the song
That's what I was thinking too.
where it's this same melodic thing. I don't know if it needs to be the same notes, but it's the same part essentially, but it is performed at a higher in pitch, maybe a register up,
Yeah.
or just like a
Just way more intense.
a higher pitch that is performed at a screaming level,
Yes. Yeah.
or a yelling dynamic,
Totally. Yeah. Get
and
a
and
compressor
then
ready.
end the song with the low, creepy vocal again.
Yeah. Maybe do it on a separate track and have it. Get a compressor ready because you'll need it, and just fucking lay into it.
So the song from With Teeth that I most closely have in mind right now is Right Where It Belongs. Because I'm currently working on a cover of that song, of a reggae version of that song.
That's awesome.
And by far, the hardest part is actually nailing nailing the emotion and the vibe of the original vocal
Yeah.
is the hardest part. And it seems like it would be so simple because it's a very dry vocal that sounds extremely simple in its performance. Like it's chill, and then there's one part where he sings a register up at a higher dynamic, more yelling. He does the classic thing that we're talking about right now,
Yeah.
and then goes back down. And it seems really simple, but it's one of the things that's cool about that song in particular, Right Where It Belongs, is that the vocal production is basically the same. It sort of sounds like he did it in one take. He might have, he might not have, but that's what it sounds like. And so it's kind of like emotionally startling, because there isn't anything about the production that sort of like smooths out the fact that he's yelling it in your face now.
Yeah.
It's the same intimate closeness, and just now he's just yelling.
Right.
And it's like,
It's amazing.
it's amazing, and it kind of scares you, you know?
It's very effective.
Yes. Yeah. Right. So that's one option. The other classic Nine Inch Nails trope that I would suggest that you do in this song is that there's an instrumental break. There's an instrumental bridge to the song,
Yeah.
where it's this vibe right here, the drums pounding, and maybe like a new synth
Yeah.
part that
Treat
is
it-
bouncing around that's like harsher. There's just like
Treat it-
something crazy happening, and the drums are getting all glitched out and smushed around and like destroyed.
Arrange it like it's like a solo section, like
Yes.
someone's about to take a solo or something. But really, it's
Exactly.
just like you could do something
Exactly.
melodic with it. You could fuck up the drums, like Brandon's saying. You could do something, but like an instrumental passage that
Yeah,
has
it's
some
just like
kind
a
of new musical element that like draws
creepy-
your focus.
creepy dance. Destroyed dance music break
Yeah.
that serves the purpose that like a solo would take in a
Yeah, that is a classic
and a
Nine
song.
Inch Nails move.
Yeah.
It's like so good when they do that too.
Yeah, and he doesn't do it in every song. He doesn't do it in right where it belongs, by the way. But I think in a song like this, it's like
It would be sweet.
because it actually, I think at the moment the song is suffering from the same thing that Alfred's song Fresno did, which is that the vocals begin
And
and
they
it
never stop.
stays and they never stop.
Right. Yeah.
So
I think another cool thing too would be that the song starts really quiet and then just gradually ramps up intensity until it's like the end of the song. It's like at like a fever pitch. You know what I mean? And like maybe this
There-
instrumental
right.
break we're talking
That's a
about
third.
building in is like the first like gear shift up, where you're like, oh shit, now there's more saturation, more distortion, more crazy, and then you from there you go to the next verse and it builds on that in distortion and intensity, and then you go to the final chorus and it's just like fucking rah, you know, do
another-
that screaming thing or whatever.
another place you could take it. Yeah.
Yeah, really fucking cool though. I'm like jealous that he could
is
just be
really
like,
good.
I'm gonna sit down and make Nine Inch Nails right now. Like that's fucking sweet. Like I would love to do that. It's very very cool. All right,
All right.
wow. Gustaf, holy shit, man, good
Good
job.
work, G. Dub clap. Dub clap.
Wow, how fun! Holy shit. Well, folks, Brandon, you've got kind of a heart out today, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know. If this is the first time ever. I don't think we really have time to
No, we
record
don't. We
our own
don't.
music today.
That's okay. That's okay.
We can.
Yeah, maybe play us out with some more
can
Tears
say-
for
yeah,
Fears.
we'll play that.
Get these inspirational juices flowing. Yeah, we've got a lot we're working on, folks, and Brandon's got family in town, so we're gonna have to end the show a little bit early today. But man, fun stream as always. Always is. Always has been. Always will be. We're approaching 50. Episode 50 soon, by the way. This is episode 45. I feel like we should do a episode 50 party coming up. I don't know how we'll celebrate that.
Yeah,
but we should
it's
do
a milestone.
Some kind of big acknowledgement of that milestone. I think that would be really fun. Well, Brandon, any closing thoughts on today's stream? Anything you need to let the world know before we sayonara our way out of here?
I love you. Love you guys. I had fun. I enjoyed it greatly. And I'm just really excited to keep working. The biggest thing from today that I'm taking is, dude, we are doing a reggae version of Songs from the Big Chair all the way through the entire complete album with the original vocals in it.
Yeah.
Like I'm so happy about that,
That's
man. It's just
exciting.
like the best news
Yeah.
that I've gotten in so long.
Yeah. So
I love it.
very exciting. We're gonna try and finish up Radiohead, and then we'll do that. And I
Yeah,
imagine
should do that right after Radiohead.
I
think.
imagine the release schedule for the rest of the year will be Radiohead. We're gonna need to take a while to do Songs from the Big Chair.
Because it's twice as long as
Twice as long,
what
yeah.
we normally do, and
Yeah.
it's going to be more complex. It's musically
It's gonna be crazy.
pretty complex.
Yeah. So we're gonna do Radiohead. Take a while to do Songs from the Big Chair. We'll work on Songs from the Big Chair every week on the stream. That'll be really fun. And then probably after that, the next one will be a Halloween release, which will be Nightmare on Elm Street. And then I imagine the final release of this year will be the Christmas album. So we've got a lot to do, and we've got playback, and we've got other stuff probably.
Yeah. Probably other things that we haven't mentioned just now.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure.
we love you. Follow us everywhere.
Yeah, please
Stay
do.
connected.
Yeah.
Stay plugged in.
Hit all the links in the chat. Patreon, Bandcamp, subscribe. Come support us if you can, if you like and enjoy what we do. Likewise, hit the links in the description of the video for the 2 artists we featured today. Both
Yes.
those links can
Follow
be
them.
found
Support them.
in the description of the video, and also I've included the link to our episode of playback of the review of the album Rubber Soul. So if you haven't watched that yet, please go check that out. Make sure you like that video. Make sure you share that video. Send it to your mom. Send it to your dad. Send it to your brothers and sisters, your friends, your coworkers, everybody who you think would like it. Please share it, because those are the videos I imagine will become the bread and butter of this channel someday. So we really want to help push those and get those to a place where they're getting a lot of views for us, because I think it's going to really help our channel. So, man, thank you guys so much. We love you guys. You guys are the shit. Everything and everyone sucks except for you. Always remember that. If you watch the show, everyone else sucks but you. Never forget that. Love you guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.